And we are,
Hello and welcome back to the Rules of Nerdquisition. I am Gretchen. This is my first officer, Gilbert. We are back with a special double episode weekend. We missed a week last week due to an away mission gone awry, where I contracted a very severe case of space ivy, and I was unable to do the mission briefing. But here we are, episode 8, mission briefing 8. What little girls are made of. How the heck are you, Gilbert?
oh, I'm doing great. I should keep my jokes to a bare minimum. Um,
I don't look like a mutant anymore. It was bad. It
uh,
was bad, ladies and gentlemen. It
yeah,
was bad.
it's bad. Yes, the captain got into a fight with an ivy monster,
and lost and lost.
and the ivy monster kicked her booty. But I'm doing
Ah,
great. How are you?
I'm I'm
How's
I'm
how's
doing
everything? How's
I'm doing
everything
well.
now?
Here
Now,
I am, look
yes.
just a little more human again. So,
All right. But yes.
but yeah, back for another
Original.
episode, and then we'll record a second one tomorrow, just so we get ourselves back on track. And we'll be a good portion of the way
Yeah.
through season one.
And
9 8 9 episodes in already. That's pretty amazing that we've kept up this pace.
yeah, exactly. We're getting an audience. We're gonna start getting some guests, a whole lot of guests we've got lined up. It's gonna be a good
Absolutely.
time. Gonna have
Yep.
some fun.
Sounds like it. Yes. And eventually, and I know you listen to this, Mr. Indak, you have to find the
And
time. You
and
have to find
Dak,
the time.
you need to come on the show, and Dak. Quit playing. Love you, bro. So, what little girls are made of? So we start out with going to a planet. We don't know.
XO3.
Yes,
XO3.
EXO-III. Go there because Kirk, being nosy, helping out somebody.
Well, I think he was ordered by Starfleet
But
because
yeah,
we're
he was ordered
yeah,
to go and check out the doctor.
Roger
Oh
Corby.
gosh, Roger
Roger
Corby.
Corby.
Yes, the fiance of Yeoman Brand.
No, Chapel.
Oh no, Nurse Chapel. That's right. Nurse
And I was
Chapel's fiance.
ex-fiance, yeah, and I was gonna say, I no hate to Majel Barrett, again, another Star Trek actor who, rest in peace, passed away several years ago. Uh, actually
Mhm.
was born or lived right here in Columbus, Ohio, in German Village, down about 30 minutes from me. So
Oh,
that was her claim to fame, or maybe that's my claim to fame. I don't know. I don't typically like episodes that have Majel Barrett in them, just because I don't think they gave her great characters to work with. We'll talk about this a lot more when we get to the whole shenanigans of Luxwana Troy, but we will
yeah. Let's
not talk
see.
about her
That's
right
your
now.
6 degree separation there. So you two are practically you two are practically sisters.
Yeah, oh, Troy's mom. Oh God, every episode I see, it's just
Uh,
like I used to have this checklist with my friends, or at least a friend of mine, and we would decide, we knew, and I think I told you this, we
mhm.
knew in the opening segment of a TNG episode if it was going to be a good one or not. Do they have collars on their uniforms? Does Riker have a beard? Is Geordi the engineer and not the helmsman? Is
Yes.
is Troy's mom in the episode? Because I'm probably changing the channel at that point. I'll go click on Voyager or
But
something and watch that for a bit.
or does it be one of the one weird subsection ones of where Jordy has a beard?
There's a couple
Because
of
there were
those,
there
yeah.
were the couple of ones where he had a beard too, so and but yeah, you're absolutely right. Which one has a collar, which one
Worf,
doesn't have a collar,
Worf,
is is
if Worf is wearing red and not gold,
yeah, or
it's a problem.
is Troy wearing a skirt or is she wearing a pantsuit?
Actually watched which one came across my feed the other day when I was just working. Chain of Command TNG episode, the one with Captain Jellicoe takes over the
Oh
Enterprise.
yes, yes, yeah, yeah.
And from that time on, she always wore a uniform because he was like, I expect you to wear or to,
A
to
uniform, yeah.
maintain Starfleet dress standards and dress codes. So that was That was
That was
interesting. But
kind of
yeah,
a
whew,
so
we've got some doozies to deal with in the future for sure.
oh, good times, good times.
But Roger Corby is
But
missing.
Roger Corby,
No one's heard from
nobody's
him
heard
in
from him.
5 years. 5 years he's been
Yeah,
gone.
5 years. We don't know what happened. Roger Corby, where are you?
Where
Corby, we need Corby. So we go to the planet where Corby is at, and I think they, of course, naturally they hail and pick.
Dahora does she gets like a distress call or something.
Um, yes, yeah, that's right. And they called to go there because he was ready to take his android empire out to stretch your legs, so to
which
speak.
which in some retrospect, when we get done with the episode, it's interesting to think that like, did they ever make any kind of correlation between any of Sung's work versus
Oh,
this
yeah,
ancient alien race that built these androids? Because that's where we're getting to. I mean, it's not like we're I don't think we really have to throw spoiler warnings on an episode review that's 55, 60 years old, something like that. It's old. It's been
right.
around.
So
So
I think we're safe.
we're all about the Android Empire in this one, though, and it gets pretty in depth, which would make me think that almost
Mhm.
maybe Dr. Sung should have been inspired by
But
some
it
of
made
these events.
this actually may have been the episode that kind of was the domino to Dr. Soon and Data and Lars and whew, Data and
And
Data in the future Data.
I'll take Data over Rook or Ruck, whatever his name is.
Oh, Ruck. Oh God.
Uh,
Ruck. Oh, that's
so, but yeah, anyway, I mean,
that is a gigantic scary robot.
it
That's
is
all I have to say.
it scared me a lot when I was a kid too, because again, you and I are young enough that we were watching Star Trek in syndication. We didn't. It
Yeah.
was long canceled before either of us were born. So, or at
Yeah. So
least
by the time we
6 years
it,
before me.
and so we were gonna watch it when it showed, or if it showed.
Yeah, he
You
was
know,
spooky though. But we get this message from Corby. He's like, "Hey, I'm down here," despite the fact that we've had several expeditions looking for this dude. We can't nobody
yeah.
find him. But
And
then he just shows up, and Kirk's like, "Anyone
he
down
said,
there?" And
"Hey,
Corby's like, "What's up?
hey,
What's up? I'm right
hey,
here.
man,
Hey,
hey,
how
what's
y'all
going on,
doing?"
bro?" So, hey, real quick, follow me. Uh, ignore the fallen guy. And so this is, and I think this is the red shirt. 'Cause I made a note of that because this is the first time
Yes,
that we actually see the red shirts in the beginning of the trope of the red shirt because we know
right. Exactly, because
who's not
Kirk is
gonna make
actually
it.
right, and Kirk is actually asked to beam down alone, and Kirk, he's like, I ain't doing that. But that's when Chapel says,
Yeah,
"Hey, it's my ex fiance. I want to go down with you." So she's going down. So Kirk's got to get himself
yeah, of course. And so he has to got to bring
to
security because
have to question
because
Starfleet security. Sometimes they don't always seem very effective.
they don't secure a lot.
Even in TNG when they were wearing gold when they swap the colors
Mhm.
around.
They didn't secure a lot. I mean,
Oh,
Worf did, but the rest of them kind of,
Worf did everything. Worf did everything
but the
as
rest
far
of
as
them
security.
kind of dropped the ball. But
Oh yeah. But they beam down, and Kirk is like, "All right, well, we're gonna, you stay at the entrance."
hey, you stay at the
One of
entrance,
them.
you follow us,
They
and
have
they start
names.
going, and
I wrote them down. I don't think they matter. Red shirt one and red shirt two. You know,
that's essentially it. Yes, I know
Officer
they had.
80. We have Specialist 86 and an officer wouldn't want to be you.
I say, First Officer Smith and First Officer Jones.
There you go.
And so the first one to go, I guess, was we say First Officer Smith. And all of a sudden they're traversing down into the bowels of a cave, in which we find out that the planet is
It's
it's breathable, it's kind of habitable, but it's dying. It's a
it's a dead
dying
world.
planet, and so yeah, I think if I'm remembering correctly, that's why that he had first initially called, just sent a signal out, say, "Hey, somebody come and get us," because the planet was dying.
Right. Right. And that's
So
why they had to escape into the caves to avoid the calamities of the
yeah,
surface. So
and
they
so
all
it's
went
like, oh yeah,
down
all
there.
that, it makes sense, and and then it's kind of, and you think about it, and I'm thinking to myself, the first time I've ever saw it, and I had the same question in as I did now. What do they eat, and where do they grow it?
Good
Because
question.
here's the thing, and they did say they had some kind of garden there, underground garden, but
Apparently the budget didn't apply or allow
said,
for
I
them to
mean,
show it.
but the set it didn't make much sense to me, and simply because if the
Bob
atmosphere,
The little
yeah,
hand plant flower was not available for this
right,
episode.
it's like, okay, so the entirety of this whole planet is dying and cannot grow or support life, but somehow there's a full spread, like a full buffet spread of food.
Right? Laid
And it's
out.
like, how does that? How, I don't know, but
Does Ruck cook the
anyways,
food? Does Ruck cook the food? Because I think at this
um,
point, by the time we
no,
meet Corby
it was Andrea,
and Andrea, okay. But by the time, I mean, by this point in the episode, we're entered. Kirk beams down, leaves the guard at the cave. They meet up with Corby and they meet his assistant.
Dr. Brown.
It is Dr. Brown. So like, I was thinking Specialist Brown because we just had Brown and Smith, or is that
So
Jones and
no,
Smith?
and for some reason, I remember that because of Brownie, and he's like Brownie.
Right, right. I'm for some reason this is conjuring images in my head. Playing Red Dead Redemption 2, there's a side mission where you meet these two inmates. Their names are Mr. White and Mr. Black, but Mr. Black is white and Mr. White is black. It's really a like a goofy mission. But anyway, I just keep thinking of the two of them like fighting each other in their prison stripes over.
That's hilarious.
But yeah, but
Oh,
so we should have already seen like Ruck like lurking
yes, we
because
see him kind of lurking through the shadows after he shoved Officer Smith, you know, over the cliff, and then we see him go in between the like side caves, in which for some reason they built doors into the cave walls.
right into the cave walls. And he's like this, he's like this ninja giant. Because really, when I see someone
Yeah,
like him, I'm like, where are the fireworks and the theme song and the giant ramp for him to walk down?
with a
Yeah, that's
sparkly robe. That's the
right.
thing with a sparkly robe. Like, okay, I get
I don't know if I could hear him
okay.
screaming woo though really
I
loud.
don't I
That would be out of character.
like everything about it just screams that he should not be a silent assassin ninja. No. Everything about it screams that he should be making every noise there is, like just visually, the stepping on the ground. Just
They get some pretty intimidating actors. I mean, I know we're kind of all over the board here, but I was watching another TNG episode the other day, the one called Gambit with the Vulcan death glyph
yeah.
thing,
Hmm.
and the Enterprise catches that ship, that Klingon trader that has the other piece, and he gets out of the shuttle, and he's like 3 feet taller than Worf. It's like, oh, because Doctor Crusher's looking up at him like, hello. He's just this massive hulk
Yeah,
of a
just
man.
a gigantic, just, just a
Re-
gigantic alien person
rem-
thing.
it's reminiscent of Wilt Chamberlain standing next to Arnold Schwarzenegger in Conan the Destroyer. Pampata.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Oh,
oh yeah,
and so Brooke should not be that silent, to be that big and that just. wearing that robe, you should not be that silent. But
No, no, but he manages to kill Specialist
then,
Smith,
yeah, and then
and Specialist Jones disappears.
yeah,
Just
and then we
poof.
find out that just Ruck just had him in a chokehold a little bit too long.
Oh yeah, he choke slammed. He choke slammed the first dude down that cavern.
Yeah,
He was just like,
he
see you
said,
later. He was gone.
the second one, he's just like, oh, say, shh.
Enjoy the long drop and the short stop.
The Ruck was like, shh, just accept the release.
Everything about him just creeped me out when I
It
was a
was so
kid. I was just his voice and just everything was just
me. It was always just that look. It
he's
was
got
just
a
that
very
face and his look, and it was just
it's very
that.
much Frankenstein's monster.
Yes,
What I get
exactly.
out of it is what I get
Yes,
out of it. So, but yeah, he's just out there apparently against Corby's orders, still out there off in
still
Kirk's
murking
men,
people.
still
Still,
murking people. Yeah, he's increasing his kill to death ratio by a significant margin in the first 30 seconds of this show.
yeah. And we find out that spoiler alert to everybody. We find out that the AI on that they use for Ruck and Andrea get confused very easily.
They do get confused very easily. Ruck seemed to be a little less susceptible to it, but like
But Andrea,
Andrea and Kirk's clone, even the android they make
yeah,
of Kirk shortly in the episode, is easily
swayed,
groomed,
distracted. Yes,
indoctrinated into reacting
yes,
a certain way. Just with when Naked Kirk gives him that command or whatever. We'll get to Naked Kirk in a minute, but this is the first
yeah.
episode with
So
Naked Kirk. And I mean, like, we've already had some shirt rippings. This time they were like, we gotta lose the
said we
trowel
got to.
too.
Said all
Gotta
right.
lose the
Well,
trowel.
said look at
Drop trowel, Bill. It's time for your scene. Drop trowel, Bill.
Bill. Said look at it. I hate to break it to you, Bill. No, it's in your contract, but we're gonna need you to drop trial on this one. I, I, my hands are tied, Bill. I
I
know, my hands are tied.
do
You
do
got to
you
drop
think
trial.
do you think he was bothered by that though, given the personality that that Bill Shatner is?
Nah,
The
I
certain
don't, I don't think
level
he
of
was at in the slightest.
self-importance, the arrogance that some of
I
it's
don't think he
warranted.
was in the slightest.
Probably not bothered a bit. He was all about rip the shirt, baby, rip my shirt. I mean, he never
I
stops
mean,
being
not in
Kirk.
the
I mean,
slightest. He was not even bothered.
he he'll get it. He'll take any action wherever he can get it. I mean, he makes out with Andrea what twice
Yes,
in this episode. So it's just like, God,
yes.
she's a robot. And he's like, I don't even care. I don't even care.
And then
Imagine.
we all know why he made Andrea. But let's just not.
Yeah, because he has to kind of try and convince Corby has to try and convince Chapel that
Hmm.
we're not together. This is not a relationship. She's my assistant, just like
That
Dr.
she,
Brown, who's gonna get red shirted too. But
yeah. But he was very much like she is my assistant. She assists me. So it's like, but what
you
does she
will
really assist you with, though? What she really assist you with?
you
Come
will
on, Doc.
assist you will assist me, Corby unit.
The Corby unit. Ah.
Oh, I will make fun of the motion picture until I die. But it's
But
not as bad as
yes.
Encounter at Farpoint.
Oh
Anyway,
gosh. No, no, no.
God.
And so we come through and find out that, oh, Corby's still alive and he is excited about something, even though the planet is dying and doesn't know what's going on. And then,
Yeah, Dr. Brown kind of explains a little bit too, talking about the previous civilization that existed on the planet and they went underground because their sun went out, went dark or whatever. That's why the planet's
yeah,
dying because their son is like,
because the sun was dying, and so
yeah,
which in turn
they
had a
got
whole effect on their ecosystem, which had to force them underground.
yeah, their son was like an old filament bulb. It was on its last days. It was like a blinking fluorescent in a 47-year-old Walmart changing room somewhere.
Yeah, it was that flickering like that
That the
with
buzz sound that
the
goes with it.
buzzing sound. Yeah,
Oh God, man! I
is that
that
light.
many a horror memories of working in an office with lights like that. Ugh. Anyway,
Exactly. Yeah. So then Kirk and Nurse Chapel are trying to figure out what is going on and
yeah, where's
how
Jones? He
say
disappeared.
where's Jones and where and more importantly, how are you still here and how are you survived? Like how?
Yeah,
And
and there's
then
there's hints at some a deeper machination here too, because you see the one
yeah,
scene where Corby's with Ruck and he has Ruck call up to the Enterprise and imitate Kirk's
yeah,
voice.
as Kirk, yeah.
Yeah.
And the engineer was like, hold it. And this all before you find out that they're androids and they all can do this and whatnot. And I'm thinking to myself, like, how in the hell did that giant do that? That how? Because that does not make sense to me. That does not process in my young IT nerd brain. It does
I
not
don't
process.
know what it is about that kind of mimicry in a villain, whether it be a movie or a Star Trek episode. We'll see another episode with a very similar kind of thing with the when Kirk and Abraham Lincoln and whatever they fight like Genghis Khan and Kahless and that
Yes.
Earth guy and the one's like, "Help me, Spock, help me!" in the voice of Surak, like
Yeah. And
that
so
kind of stuff. That's like what it's Skinwalker stuff. Like when you're in the woods and you hear your name, it's someone going, Gretchen,
yeah.
Gilbert over here, and it's or Blair Witch did that too,
Yes. And
really effectively, very
it's almost
effectively as
like
well.
in episodes like that, they just have like a bunch of names on a wall and they just throw darts. It's like, yep, boom, Bigfoot, and boom, and let's see, Tribbles, boom, a Wookiee, boom, you know,
I didn't even know until I recently watched that episode with like Abraham Lincoln and all that stuff and the rock monster that made them fight. I didn't actually know that that was like Kahless, that the concept of that character had been around for so long. You know what I mean?
no,
Like, because nobody knew who
I had
Kahless
no
was when
idea.
you first saw
Yeah,
the episode. You're like, okay, it's a Klingon. His name is Kahless, whatever.
and
They
you're
all
just
got names.
thinking, just Klingon.
But then they get really into it with like, was it Next Gen or Voyager and all that stuff, and or
Yeah,
DS9. I mean, he
well,
becomes
more
his
so with
clone.
DS9,
Yeah, his
like a
clone
little
becomes
bit,
like the honorary figurehead emperor of the.
yeah, because that's when DS9 kind of, well, they start out exploring with a little more with Klingons and Jem'Hadar and the Dominion and Bajorans
Cardassians.
and Cardassians.
Cardassian.
Yeah,
They were a big factor in Deep Space Nine, which is they were just kind of a minor villain in TNG here
but
and there,
yeah,
but still. But yeah, this is like I think, but this is where Corby actually admits to Kirk that Ruck killed both
yeah, that
the
Ruck
two
did both,
security
but
guards. It's like I did, but I
yeah,
told him not to.
yeah,
And
but
I don't
he's
know.
like, no,
I'm
he did
Kirk.
it. So he
Yeah,
did it against my wishes,
and if I'm Kirk,
and
I'm like, yeah, but they're dead.
he said, yeah, but they're
My
dead.
my
Yeah,
my dudes are dead, man. I don't care why he did it. My dudes are dead. He killed
and
my
then it's
boys.
like, and then you can almost see the question form in Kirk's head. It's like, if he is supposed to obey your all your orders without any question, but he just decided that he wants to just murk these two people just because they're there. Something's
and
not right. Something's
and
not adding up. The
even
math ain't
Corby
mathing on this
knows.
one, cuz
No, it's not mathing because, and I'll even say this. Even Corby knows that creepy voice talk is creepy because
yes.
when Ruck starts copying Chapel, he's all like, "Oh,
He's
don't
like, no, 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 no.
do that, don't do that."
Saying
Ugh.
because immediately he said, "No, you will not mock her. You will not. No, like he had to shut that down quick."
Yeah, and he even
And
says
so
like for all the good it does, he actually even says like, "Hey, you have to obey all of Christine's orders too, not just mine. You have to obey her."
obey hers, yeah. In which he kind of does it if he feels like it.
And exactly. And at this point, Kirk is like, "Okay, I'm done with all this flip flap. It's time to fight. It's time to fight. I gotta go."
Yeah,
And he
yeah.
tries to get away, but Ruck is nah.
It's like,
That's
look here, bro. Look, no,
this is
we don't do
Rey Mysterio versus the Undertaker, right? I mean, it's just this
this. Yes,
tiny little dude
said it.
hulking
Yeah,
beast.
he's like right there, and then right there. Like, hey, look here,
Oh
man.
yeah, I
You
mean,
about to?
Kirk gets rolled a few times in this episode. Gets rolled a few times because usually I
Yeah,
mean, he's taken some hits, he's taken some losses, but I mean, he does give as good as he gets.
yeah. But this one,
Oh no,
no.
no.
Said no. Oh, he tried. He tried.
This dude, and eventually when we get to Space Seed Khan, are probably the two people that gave Kirk royal ass bruisings on screen.
Yes, without yes, without hesitation. Yes.
I mean, yeah, oof. Yeah, they were bad fights. And the Irishman from the episode Shore Leave, where everything you dream of comes to life. But
Oh,
that's
at
a
least we know. Hey, at
that's a
least,
fun episode though.
yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, like so Kirk ain't going nowhere. He ain't going
Uh,
nowhere.
but I would say,
He's being
oh,
suplexed right now in the cave on the cave floor. I mean,
yeah, you're not. No, no, he's not gonna. No, said no. And I have here in my notes that Ruck is too damn big. He's just too damn
he
big.
he's too big, which is exactly why when Kirk is restrained by Ruck and all that stuff, Corby chooses to have the this ain't my girlfriend argument with Chapel again
Right.
instead of trying to I think Ruck was already kind of like looking at him like, I kind of want to throw you down
Said
that chasm too,
it's like,
about that red shirt guy.
okay.
He's fighting it. I think
I think he's looking at me. He's like, hmm,
that big
just
creepy beast, he just wants to
just
kill. He
turn.
just
I said, just turn your back just one time. Turn your back one time.
and this next scene, which is just to allow Bill Shatner to kiss the pretty girl on
Oh,
stage
of
with him.
course, of course.
When Kirk is just saying, like, well, hey, your androids are not all that impressive after hearing all the details about him. He's like, all they do is take orders. And how does Roger Corby refute that claim? He orders Andrea to kiss him.
And then
So
immediately slap him.
I then immediately slap him.
And he's like, see, I
But
can
this is
I can make her do anything I want her to.
but this is when the light bulb in Kirk's head comes on. And he's like,
It's like,
well, at least something that gets filed back. That's interesting information. I should think about that later in case I need it for something. I don't know what I would
and he's
need it
thinking, it's
for.
like, I can use that. I could use that. How could I use that? Yeah. And so he starts formulating a plan so he can get out.
And we are
And then,
talking about the man who routinely beats Spock in tridimensional chess too. So he's
well, see,
for all the cheese,
well,
he's an
see that.
incredible strategist.
Well, I say this that to me that's debatable. He cheats,
He might cheat. He might
but you
cheat.
probably does. I'm not gonna like it does,
No, you're right. You're absolutely right. Would you tell
but
me how
hey,
you
then
passed
again,
the? Would you tell me how you passed the Kobayashi Maru? I'd really like to know. I
yeah,
reprogrammed it, in which McCoy corrected him and said he cheated, or his son said that. Son said that
yeah,
he cheated.
said he cheated.
He cheated. Anyway,
And he said
hey,
nobody said I couldn't.
is cheating not strategy? I think cheating is a strategy. It may not be
Hey,
an admirable one or a respectable one, but it is a
but
strategy.
yeah, it is one.
Like
And so
if a feral dog is tormenting your neighborhood and it runs off into the woods every night, you could just hunt it down, call like pest control to come and get it, or you could set the forest on fire. I mean, either are valid options, just one is better than the
yeah,
other.
exactly. You just got to think about how much paperwork you want to fill out.
Exactly, exactly. But now we're to the crux of what's really going on here and what's because Brown is dead now.
If Brown is dead, yeah,
Brown is
because
dead and revealed to be an android himself. He
hmm
was the first reveal, I believe, because he
yeah,
dies
because he
before
got shot.
Andrea.
Yeah,
Right.
because he got shot, and then you see the
Now we got the
circuits and all the everything going on.
and the Andrea revelation
Yeah,
with the kiss and the slap and all of that stuff. And now we're like,
yeah, and then Dr. Corby, you got some explaining to do. You got some
I would
explaining to do, Dr.
I would
Corby.
never have guessed it or even thought it to be a possibility watching this when I was 6 or 7 years old. But if I was seeing this episode for the first time by this point in the episode, I'm like, I wonder, is Roger Corby real?
Yeah, that was my
Is he
first
real?
thing.
Is he
That was
real? Oh no, ain't nobody else in this motherfucker real.
nobody else here is
Meh.
real. So hold up. I'm side eyeing you now. Hold up. Hmm.
I'm side eyeing
Hmm.
everybody, but it's time for Naked Kirk. Naked
And
Kirk.
then Kirk is naked. We get a
Dropping
naked
space
Kirk.
trout. We're dropping space
Dropping
trout.
everybody dropping space trout now. And now it's a party.
And this
It-
is the moment when you choose not to have a fight with the space ivy monster. But
that's that's a great time not to have a fight with a with an
do
ivy.
not drop trow and fight space ivy monsters. Tip for the
Don't want to
day,
do that.
ladies and gentlemen. Tip
You
for
don't
the
want to
day.
do that. Never drop trout and fight a space ivy monster. The more you know.
I
So
always thought it was creepy too, like the mold thing that's supposed to be turned into the because Kirk's in this machine now. For those of you, um,
yeah,
keeping up with our, not keeping up with
with our
our
rambling,
chaos,
with
our
our ADHD rambling review of this great episode.
I don't know what the name of our ship is, but the designation numbers are NCC-ADHD.
Exactly.
Absolutely, absolutely serve it. Oh, but yeah, that
And so
creepy
yeah,
mannequin thing in this machine, and they're gonna duplicate Kirk because
it's basically 3D printing him another copy, and then essentially copying and pasting his brain into
first
the
first rule of Starfleet spending: why have one JTK when you can have two at twice the price?
exactly. Yeah, you get two for the price of
Uh,
one. You get two for the price of one. You
and
know,
this is where Kirk's that file he put back in his head for future reference. This is when he
yes, and then
does the
all of a
little
sudden is it's
pre-programming thing
yeah, which is not sure how to process it. Um,
because he's just like
because
the
slightly
whole mind
offensive.
your own business, you half breed kind of thing,
Slightly
talking like
offensive, and
it
it's
was
like,
slightly offensive.
and good thing
But
that
the
Kurt, I mean
reasoning,
not Spock, is like, huh, got it.
the when it happens, yeah, the reasoning will become clear once it will help Spock to identify. Because
Yeah.
at this point, when you've made a second Captain Kirk, we all know what your plan is. You're trying to take over a ship. Harry Mudd did it.
Hmm.
Charlie X tried to do it. I mean,
That's
the
everybody's
the,
goal.
the
First thing.
salt lady needed the ship to get rides
Yeah.
to desalt
Everybody need
people.
everybody
Everybody,
wants the ship. So
everybody.
naturally,
It's always the ship. Now
it's
we
always the
know
ship.
why it's called She.
Everybody loves the ship, and
And
everybody wants the ship.
we are not even close to touching the surface on how many times the Enterprise A or the original Enterprise or the D or the Voyager got
Hmm.
taken over by somebody doing something. The Enterprise is notorious for it. I mean, God, there's TOS
Oh,
episodes, multiple TNG episodes.
hmm.
Don't even get me on about the one with the Ferengi managed to take over the ship. That one just drives me nuts. dude clocked War for just ducked his phaser blast and
But
shot him back and was like,
and
"You got
here's
a
the
Klingon, so
craziest
what?"
thing, and the craziest thing is the Ferengi one worked because nobody would expect the Ferengi to do it, and that's why it worked.
Probably, probably. I admit I did not have a lot of respect for that particular alien
Said I
species when it
never
was first introduced, but Quark changed everything. I mean, he made
that
Quark's a cool
he
Ferengi,
made the Ferengi hilarious.
but
Yeah,
also but also more devious and not just they looked like
yeah,
bumbling idiots.
yeah,
Clark
they were very they're very
slapsticky
capitalist,
almost. Yeah, well, they are capitalists, yes,
evolved capitalists.
but they just didn't
That's a nice
seem
way of saying it.
smart enough to like do the things they do. Because like you see a lot, and here we go on tangents
Yeah.
again. Like even like in the Klingon Empire, Klingons don't have much respect for scientists and stuff like that. But without your scientists, Mr. Klingon, all you Klingon people, you wouldn't have warp speed and these cloaking devices and all these weapons to go on your war
True.
escapades throughout space. So, I mean, you'd think that those people would have some kind of reverence in that society,
You think so, but
like the
hey,
way like the way the samurai honors the sword maker. You
right.
know,
But hey, that's the Klingons.
that's the Klingons.
Yeah.
But they've said it in other episodes too, where they're like the Ferengi, just Ferengi scientists, like that one with the metaphasic shielding, they could go into the
Yeah.
sun.
Yeah.
And he had to actually explain to Crusher at the beginning of the episode, like, we're scientists, we're not really we're kind of looked down upon in Ferengi society, but you need all that, you know, all that stuff to go do your capitalist
hmm
stuff in
Yeah.
space, your space
Yeah.
capitalism.
You gotta do yeah. Make that space money. Be out
Make
there.
this,
Be out there in the on the on the
it's
on the
space,
corner
but
on the
we
corners
have to
of Ryza. Be out there on the
we have
corner.
to honor space balls. It's officially the currency is space bucks,
Space bucks. That's what.
space bucks. But everything is space something. I mean, geez, it's like so
It's
cliche. It
like
has to
so
be cliche.
exactly. So it's like we all know it's space. So why not just say anyways.
Right, but we're
So
back to taking over the
so
Enterprise because but we
we
gotta
take it over. You know, you got the
Kirk
3D
is
Kirk. You got
he's
the 3D
chatting
Kirk
with
in there.
Chapel and them.
Yeah.
It's like a trick.
It's like he's doing this like yeah,
Yeah.
I got everything so far, but you know what? I'm gonna try something. And then and granted he flies a little close to the sun, but his wings didn't melt. And he's able to kind of get through that one time and gets back down to the planet. And I think and this is the one where
Yeah, because that's where
at the
that was
time,
where he did say that to Spock.
yeah,
Spock comes into his quarters and says something, but I like the little 20 questions conversation that Kirk Prime and Kirk Android
and the
have with each other.
the
Where
two
like he's
Kirks have a talk.
because the producers and the directors, right, they're trying to trick us, they're trying to make us think the one in the uniform is the correct one, but it's not, it's the fake one.
Yeah,
And then the real Kirk comes in that goofy jumpsuit, they play 20 questions, and it's like, let me guess, you're from outer space. Oh, I'm from Iowa, I only work in outer space, but
right. And it's like,
answering all the questions right. Oh my
and so they
gosh.
would kind of find out. And it seems to me it seems more that when it copies facts. So
Mhm.
so sometimes when like the feelings or sentiments about behind something, it misses. So he just knows like memories and he sees memories, I guess. That's the only way I
Right.
could figure it out. Yeah.
Exactly, because I mean, even before the whole Spock interaction, when they first pass each other in the hallway, Spock one doesn't know he's back on the ship. I call security breach. Security breach. How did anyone beam up to the ship without us knowing, especially the captain?
Exactly. Right. So,
And but Kirk, like the fake Kirk, walks right by him in the hallway. Like
so just walks
does
by just like, hey, what up, bro?
when Spock is like, dude, we're like best friends. You're like, I don't even
Yeah.
get a
Oh
so
yeah.
I don't even
Oh,
get a
oh
head. I don't
yeah.
even get a head
So
nod.
Don't get any nothing. Just so
I mean, a passing fist
I
bump or
mean
something, you know? I mean,
I mean, dang man. I mean, I made the Kobayashi Maru that you cheated on. I mean, come on, bro. I mean, nothing, not nothing.
Kirk walked past Spock like he was Specialist Jones.
Like he was another red shirt. Like he was just a
Who
red
are
shirt.
you,
Just
man? There are 300 and some people on this ship. Who even are you?
said, Spock, like I sit right next to you. Um, like we talk every day.
Every day, every day. And like will every day for like decades
Like
more.
for you know
But
decades.
oh, I mean, yeah, yeah. Kirk
Yeah,
just pimp strolled right past him.
yeah.
He should have been like swinging that arm, like
They're just
just
like
jam into something in his head, you know?
they're just kind of
Exactly.
they're
The,
just going just bopping along just like this, just chest puffed out, just mm, mm, mm. But you know, hey,
that
he been
Kirk was rolling through the hallways like the real Kirk forgets the girl's name the next morning. Oh God.
but no, if he just walk through the corridors of the Enterprise like Tobey Maguire and Spider-Man, just
Doing a stupid dance. Yeah, it's all pointing at people. That would have been sweet. That would have been sweet. Okay, okay. New project. We want to remake every single episode of the TOS over again with all new actors and technology, but keep the scripts. We're just going to change a few things.
yeah, just a little notes,
I
little
want
little notes here and
I
there.
want James Toby Kirk swinging down that hallway doing that
Yeah,
dance, man.
I need to do the finger guns. Just
Big guts.
mm. Captain Toby, what up?
And then this is when the fake Kirk like beams back down though, right? He has a little confrontation with Spock. He says that thing that the Kirk
Yeah,
Prime programmed him to say, the half breed comment, and then that's when Spock's like,
yeah. Said,
"That's not my bro.
that's
That's not my bro,
that's
man. My bro."
hey look, hold up. That's a that's our safe word. He
Sorry,
in
safe
trouble.
word.
That's our safe word. He in trouble.
Oh boy.
It's, but
Oh, but
to
Kirk Prime
but
is doing
to
his thing though. He's down there just
but to
trying to get
Kirk
away.
Prime, you know,
He just keeps
he's
trying to get away. He ain't stopping. He
said
getting
no,
his
no, he's still challenging Ruck. Oh, he's
he
still
keeps getting his number tagged, his number
getting into
punched
fights
every
with
time.
Ruck. You know, so he's a couple times he was able to get away. Um, and I
Kirk's gonna try to use a weapon this time though.
said
That's when
I
gets that
he
rock.
gets that rock in the shape of a it's in a certain shape. I shall not say it because we keeping it PG on this one. But
Oh, I'm looking at the file right now, the picture right now. I'm not going to. I'm not going to. Yes, it's
let's
very
just say
suggestive.
it's in a very suggestive shape. And because we're keeping it classy, I'm not gonna say what it is.
I'm pretty sure the people
But
listening are smart enough to figure out exactly what we're talking about.
but you're all smart cookies. You know what it is.
The only hint we'll give, this version doesn't need batteries.
True,
So,
true. And
but he still can't win. He still can't win. He still can't beat.
no,
Still gets
said
thrown
no
into the
because
cavern after getting beat up a little bit,
said no
hanging
because
by
even
his.
though he knows he's in a fight with Ruck, then all of a sudden Ruck just pops out with his Nurse Chapel impression, and he's just like Nurse Chapel, not even thinking is that how'd you even get away?
Yeah, and
How'd you even get away? Yeah, come on. Like
you came up
I get.
with
You
that,
know, you're not thinking right. You know, you adrenaline's going. You know,
of
adrenaline's
course,
going. You know, you gotta.
but
You
he's
know,
also seasoned and experienced, and he
true.
was he had enough forethought to think, you know what? I should
He
see
said,
if
I
this
need a
android will say whatever I tell it to say.
right. And so it
I mean,
I
it
don't know,
could have been
Kirk sometimes
anything. He could have
so
been like
it could have, yeah. But
it could have been anything too to program with him. And he literally could have had his fake Kirk say something like, I was a North African fall webworm in my earlier life. I need scissors, 61. Just total nonsense that
yeah, then all of a sudden he's like,
Spock, what?
what are you talking about? And then boom. Then the androids lose their minds and then
But
and so
I don't fully understand it though. I mean, Ruck has a change of heart.
and he goes from kill to capture and captures Kirk and then said, okay, now you're listening. All right.
These are one of those because it's in the script moments.
Yeah.
It didn't seem like it made sense to me. I mean, you could
No, not
just
to me, because to
step
me
on
it
his
seems like it's
fingers.
like, all right, you could have just like ju- just gone ahead and murked them. Then you just have the android Kirk, and you'd have been good.
Then
Mhm.
what you have Spock and a few other key personnel beam down. Rock
Mhm.
overpowers all of them,
Yeah,
makes clones of them, and then boom, the Enterprise is at their back.
Enterprise is done.
Everyone
Then
else is dead,
they've got the Enterprise taken over.
and it's taken
Then
over.
everybody else just we need all of engineering to beam down to the planet. Then
I can't help but
engineering beams down and then beams back up. The robot ones are there.
but as with every attempt to take over the Enterprise, I can't help but quote another Star Trek. You've managed to kill everyone else, but like a poor archer, you keep missing the target.
Yes. It's like
Every
you have the ability to hit everything and nothing at the same time.
I know. I mean, and sometimes when the Enterprise is taken over, like the people who turned all the crew into the little salt balls, the little geometrical shapes,
Yes.
like, didn't they win that one by Kirk, like, just made them feel bad and change their mind?
Yeah. He's gonna talk him out of it.
This is going to talk you out of it. That's all. Just going to talk you out of
He's
it.
like, hey, listen here, bro. Hold up. Let's just sit down, roll up a fatty real quick, and let's just talk this out. Hold on, man.
Exactly. Exactly. Just basically made him feel bad. Like, oh, I see the error of my ways. I could be remembering it wrong, but we'll get to that one anyway. You know how it goes. But that's what happened to Ruck. Ruck is like, yeah, I'm
And so
having one of
he
those
talks to Ruck, and
patented
then
patented Star Trek change of mind moments.
yep. So he talks to Ruck and gets Ruck all confused about why is he helping why is he helping Corby and Corby's trying to do this and why is he doing this? Gets Ruck all confused and then Ruck goes on a whole Merkin spree. Just
On the Merkin spree, and Kirk is over here like, well, I'm kind of all
said,
alone
well,
with
my
this good
job is
looking
done.
robot.
Then my job is done. Then all of a sudden, Corby pulls
He's
out a phaser and then just bow. Done. One
oh
and
yeah,
done.
one and done. Yeah,
Mhm.
takes him out. But again, but Kirk is like, I gotta get it on with this cute android here. I've got another
Yeah,
opportunity.
it's a said, hold it
Might as well
down.
do it.
Said, no, I'm not being blocked anymore. So
Right. And if you
and then
hadn't figured if no one had figured out the plan yet when he kisses Andrea again and then she goes to try and slap him.
yeah,
But he's like,
hey,
nah,
so
nah, I'm ready for it.
say, hey, so I never been with a robot.
No, no, no. These
It's like
images.
and it's like hey,
Now I've got
that's kind of what Kirk would
the
do
woman from
something like that.
Airplane, the woman from Airplane who's sitting in the chair and she's like, never been with a man before. And she looks over and it's like the horse is smoking a cigarette and it's like her hair's all messed up. Kirk is just like, never been with a robot before. Ah, and he even, I mean, and you could get here's what's the word I'm looking for here. What's an ideological challenge, I guess. Kirk is
Mhm.
forcing himself on this female
On the yeah,
presenting robot. Is that more misogyny? I mean, I would say the actions that he's taking are certainly
yeah,
misogynistic.
absolutely.
The
Because
space misogyny. Space misogyny.
space misogyny, yes, it's like regular misogyny, but it is in space. So space misogyny. And
You can't handle it though.
so
She
she
can't handle it
doesn't,
though.
yeah, she doesn't say no, but she doesn't have a way to, consent. Because if she has to do whatever he says, then is that really consent?
Yeah, and and then she gets fembotted. You know,
Yeah.
that whole
And then she gets
situation just
fembotted. Yes.
gets fembotted, and she's all like, I can't process what's going on. It's overloading her
Yeah. And
her relays and what have you. And
she jumps from being a maid, then all of a sudden she's being almost essayed to a point, and then she gets told, pick up a gun and and go protect because we had some people beamed down because Spock got the message and with security and beamed down after the fake Kirk.
and it was cool too because we got a little bit of insight with a brief conversation between Kirk and Ruck about the previous civilization.
Yeah,
And it's
just
like
kind of
basically what happened, this civilization, they got terminated. They got
yeah,
terminated. They created an android species. They realized too late that it was probably too powerful. They tried to destroy it and got destroyed by their own creations. Every major
pretty
robot
much.
versus man storyline you've ever heard.
Yep,
you know,
pretty much is the robots realize that hey, why are they killing us? Hold up, did they not know this? Oh wait,
we're faster, stronger,
said
smarter,
we're faster.
connected to everything.
Yeah, and we don't die. So hmm, yeah. So then they realized quickly that they built their replacements.
Pretty much. Yeah. Because going back real quick to Mud's women. Or no, I'm thinking of the other Mud episode. We haven't got to it yet. We'll have to address that later. Because that's another
Yeah,
android show with a whole bunch with a race of androids in it. So um you forget sometimes
yeah.
how often the themes kind of
They kind of
replay them.
overlap.
So they
Yeah.
overlap, they repeat themselves. But I mean, what do
Well,
they
see, here's
say
the
in like
thing.
writing? There's only seven major storylines, like man versus nature, man versus machine, man versus himself.
Yeah. And then again, plus the fact is that it was kind of Star Trek was made to kind of illustrate all of these negative and toxic traits, but in a setting that is acceptable to the American audience.
Right, right.
Because
Yeah. I mean,
I mean, if it wasn't all in space or anything like that, then Kirk trying to force himself onto Andrea wouldn't be a good look. You know,
no, that sounds more like an episode of SVU.
exactly. Put it in space, Star Trek. Put it on Earth, SVU.
And again, I do think that they got better with it as the series go on. I mean,
Yeah.
we
And
can look
so,
at some of the themes in the original series and say that's not really couth or not really a
right.
good thing by today's standards, but we can still recognize that even though it's bad, that was the era. That's just the way people were then, is what was generally
Yeah.
accepted. So,
Yeah. It's to a point that, yeah, it was at the times and that was acceptable at the times,
because
But
Trek
even
does
still,
get
we
deep
look
into
at
those
it,
things.
yeah, we look at it now today and we realize that, oh, a lot of these things that it's kind of problematic. And we kind of realize that, so I get it, that was the time, but it may have been kind of still a little problematic. But hey,
Yeah. And,
but it
even
is what it
though
is. We
e- even though he's supposed to obey him or whatever, Ruck, I don't know, maybe his old world, his Skynet kicked on. he gained his access to
Yeah,
Skynet was reestablished, and he was just like, I
he
must
got
kill the
reconnected,
queen.
and I guess I guess he got reconnected back to onto the Wi-Fi there and updated. And then he
Yeah,
realized,
oh yeah.
oh,
He
yeah,
immediately went full Reggie Jackson from the Naked Gun. I must
absolutely,
kill
I
the
killed the
queen.
queen. That's
Yeah,
exactly. And then
yeah,
and
and
poor
that's when Corby.
Andrea,
Oh yeah,
poor Andrea. I mean, for an android, I felt sorry for her because here's one, just an innocent girl. She goes from cooking and cleaning to all of a sudden now she's being essayed, and all of a sudden now she's being security, and she has no idea on how to do this except for the cooking and cleaning because apparently that's all Dr. Corby wanted from her,
but
allegedly,
she kind of
maybe more.
comes around a bit. I mean, because Rocky starts to scuffle with Corby, and that's when, or at least threaten him, and that's when Corby's like, "Okay, I'm done. I'm done with you."
Hmm.
He drops the stunner on him. He's gone. He's out of
Exactly.
there. and and then
And so
Andrea,
yeah,
kind of in her moment of making
uh,
decisions for herself,
and
she
she
gets rid of Kirk
murks.
unit.
Yeah, she murks Kirk. And it's
Oh
almost like
gosh.
in her way of trying to test to see if it was the real Kirk or not. I was like, kiss me. He's like, no, that's illogical. Which for a
Right.
robot, that's what a robot would say, you know.
Yeah, and
And
then we finally realize with that Corby himself is in fact an android, which everybody saw coming, right? Before we
yeah,
even mentioned it, you all
says, I
saw it, yeah.
mean, we all saw it coming because why not?
Right,
Because it's
right. And
like
it's just the
how can
flesh is hanging off his hand,
yeah,
so like
it's like
reminds me of
how can Ruck be a robot, Andrew be a robot, Brown be a robot, but you're the only one that's not.
yeah, no, everybody's a robot. I'm a robot, you're a robot. Wouldn't you like to be a robot too? I mean,
Yeah, we
everybody
got a
wants to
whole
be a robot.
robot civilization down here, bro.
Although oddly enough, at a team meeting at work the other day, my boss was like, who's been through some medical issues, was like, I just want it's 2024. Where's my robot body? I just need to download into a new body and go. That's what I'm
Yes.
waiting for. That's what I'm waiting for. Build
Yeah,
me
yeah.
a
And
cybernetic or genetically created body and download me into it somehow. However you do that.
yeah, exactly.
Go find the
It's like
teacher, put it on,
our
learn how to do brain surgery,
yeah, our
and
expectations for the future have now changed because in the 80s we all wanted flying cars. Now, you just put my brain in a robot body.
just put my brain in a robot body. Yeah, I'm down with
That
that.
if I have a robot body, I could walk. Matter of fact, I could just I put jets on my feet. I put jets on my
Oh
feet
yeah,
with rollerblades, and you know,
you just
I could
got
be
to go
good.
go full Skynet or like a lawnmower man.
Yeah,
He's like my birth cry will be the ringing of every phone on earth. Like,
yeah, absolutely. I'm good with either one.
that would be cool. That would be cool. Absolutely. But
Yeah, and so Andrea, Mertz,
sorry,
Kirk,
Christine. Sorry,
and
Christine.
then
That's not your man.
sorry, Christine.
That's not your man, Christy. Not your man.
Then he explains the whole situation where he lived a dream. He took his brain out, put it in a robot body. He's living the dream.
He's living the dream.
He's living the dream
Wow.
with a
Yeah,
robot body.
that's really cool. Yeah, I want to live in a robot body. Somebody make this happen, you know? Anyway, like
Yeah.
I was watching the X Prize stuff where the people are like the contest to make a tricorder. I'm not super impressed. I'm not a
I
techie by
mean,
any means. I'm not an engineer. So don't take my word for it. Like I'm some authority on it. I'm not. I just like it's not doing the things I want it to do.
yeah, that's
Like
all
put one
great
on
and
your
everything.
head and attach a thing to your belt
Yeah.
and all. No, I want woo,
Second,
woo, woo, woo. And I know what's wrong. Why don't you just take the phone and just scan me like, okay,
yeah. If anything,
pick up
just like no, oh, stay still.
what's the little
And then
thing that
now.
McCoy's always using? It's like, doo.
Oh yeah, the little thingy, the
The
little
little
thing with the
the,
little thingy on the cord,
the space thingy, the space thingy.
the little space thingy on the cord, on the space cord, on his space
Oh,
packet, on his space belt.
and
Spock
Spock and
and the other
crew,
red shirts
they show up late.
that bust on
Oh,
through.
well, Andrea and Corby, or Corby kills him and Andrea at the same time, right?
Um,
Yeah, because she won't give her gun up, so he pulls
yeah,
her
because
close and he
he
shoots them
pulls her
both.
close, and then and both of them get.
And then, albeit late,
And then Spock shows
Spock
up.
and crew's up.
Spock and crew shows up, and it's like, boom, boom. All right, everybody freeze.
Like, hey, it's cool. There
So,
wasn't
all right, we're
anybody here to begin with, is basically what Kirk says. There was
all
nobody
right,
here.
we're
It was
cool, bro.
it was just a bunch of
Just a bunch
space
of robots.
robots. Space
Said just a bunch
robots.
of robots.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got duped
Talking
by
about
robots.
crews of creepy androids, the black hole on Disney Channel, the giant ship that the dude is on, and all the weird android crewmen that don't say anything and wear the faceless masks and just like,
Yeah,
oh, that's some creepy. That's some creepy right there. Total creep factor. Total creep factor. Another good sci-fi though. I like that one. I don't know where it
yeah.
ended up
So
with whatever, but
so then
that's
we end
it.
up with everybody beaming up and rolling on out, and
Yeah.
it was just like
Autobots transform and roll out. That's it. I mean, it's just like
that's exactly what happened.
yeah, it's almost like kind of a, oh well, I guess Spock does have to say something about like, hey, I just wanted to say
It's
you called me a name, man. It wasn't cool.
like
It wasn't cool. I don't like it.
like I know that's a safe word, but I think we need to pick something else out, man, because after
Yeah,
hearing it,
I
after
don't
actually
like it.
hearing it,
I
I
don't
don't
like it
like
so
it.
much.
It doesn't sit well with me. Um,
Right.
I think we need to figure something else out.
Yeah, and is kind of, given the insults we've heard people throw at others in today's world, the horrible things that people say, not as
Yeah,
intense of an insult, but at the same time, you could see how that particular insult would specifically affect Spock because he's always had contention over his
yeah,
bispecial heritage. He's not
and
even
this,
biracial, he's bispecial.
yeah, and at this point, we know that he's bispecial, but we don't actually kind of see until I think it was the J.J. Abrams with the in the Kelvin universe kind of explored it a little bit more of
Well, especially his
how
childhood.
of his childhood of how badly he was bullied. Just and it's even worse. What's bad is being bullied by kids, but it's even worse being bullied by smart kids. It's
Oh
even
yeah.
worse.
Oh, exactly. Absolutely. I mean, they're there're going to be so many syllables in those insults. Your head's going to spin. I mean, you're not even going to know what's going on.
Yes.
That's why the physical bullies always just resort to punching because they're like, what?
What'd
What
you
did you
say?
call? What'd you say? What'd you
Wow.
call?
Yeah.
Oh God, I think the movie Explorers with like River Phoenix and Ethan Hawke, the three kids that build the spaceship.
Yeah.
There
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
I think he was in a fight. Ethan Hawke's character was in a fight at the beginning of the movie or whatever, and he's doing that too. He's calling this typical jockish bully all these
Yeah.
geeky names because he was the super nerd of that group. He War of the Worlds and sci-fi and all that kind of stuff. He was probably the kind of
Yeah.
kid I was. I want give
You
me a
think that
tilt-a-whirl, give me a Mac, an old Apple Macintosh and a tilt-a-whirl, and I'm gonna make a spaceship. Make a spaceship.
yeah, if you can't do that, then yeah, don't talk to me.
And yeah, I mean, no flying cars, no backyard spaceships, no brain downloads into robot bionic bodies. I mean,
I mean, come on.
but
Science. You need to.
we did get
You,
flip phones out of it.
yeah, I mean, we got flip phones. I mean, that's about it. And then we got tablets. That was about it.
Yeah,
We got tablets
tablets.
and flip phones.
You can't help sometimes now watching like Next Generation because it's always got those pads, the PADDs with the
Yeah,
pass signing stuff like that. It's like, why are you just passing all these pads along? I think that every officer would just have their own tablet. Like iPads are so
yeah.
much
There's
more impressive than what you see them passing each other in the captain's ready room. Here's the report on that incident, sir. Like,
that was on DS9. That's when they had the big like data pads, like tablets.
yeah, and even if like say you were my commanding officer or something in today's world in 2024, if I'm filing a report with you, I'm not going to bring you a tablet. I'm just going to email it, man. I'm just going to email it. You can log in on
Okay.
your own machine and look at it. Why am I carrying this tablet 5 decks up and 3 sections over to drop it off at the
Yeah.
captain's desk? Have you guys ever heard of pneumatic tubes? Just
I mean, they have them at the bank. You
they have
know,
them at the bank.
they
They've
got them
had them
at the
at the
bank.
bank
You know, all
since.
they have a little tube. You put them in the tube, and then you push the button. Like that's all you have to do. You put it to, and you push the button, and that's it.
But not the worst, not the worst Majel Barrett. Well, I'd say more specifically Christine Chapel episode, but Majel Barrett has one problem with me of being someone who plays multiple roles that I have not always enjoyed. Except for the voice of the computer. Love that. That's like classic. That's classic right there. I mean,
I mean, of course, you can't not have the voice of computer. I mean, yes,
no, they even reused old lines and stuff for like the series finale of Picard when they finally
yeah, even brought.
shutting down at the end. They still had her on there. It was really cool. It was really cool. But this was
So
this definitely these. I think something always strikes a chord when it comes to these like robots destroy civilization kind of things. Because of all the apocalypses that people fantasize about, I think that's the most realistically possible.
yeah, I mean,
AI taking over and just being
AI
like,
taking over, that would
and you
realistically
guys are
be the right
bacteria.
moment to do it. Yeah,
Humans are bacteria. We're getting rid of you. You're just an infestation. You're not producing anything of. We're going to kill all the humans, create an android race, and then we're going to make spaceships and fly away, and you don't get to have none. Like, oh, that sucks,
and then
man.
and a boo boo.
Right, exactly. Like we're out. They pull
Yeah,
up to
but
pick you
yeah,
up, but the door's
just
locked before they laugh at you and drive away.
yeah, I'm just trying to get a robot body. Trying to get my
They
brain put
they
into a robot body so I can live forever.
so we can live forever, so we can see some of this cool stuff. I'm gonna pull a Walt Disney and
Exactly.
jump into cryo freeze, like wake me up in 300 years.
Like I want to be able to put jets on the heels of my feet and have the bottom of my feet, turn into rollerblades so I won't have to worry about a car anymore. I just
Oh
rollerblades
no,
every place
maybe not
and
the
just rocket blade
full,
every place.
maybe not the full cyborg experience, cyborg from DCEU, but or the DC universe, but a good portion of that. Like when
Yeah,
his hand turns into the gun and during,
yeah, I'd like that. Yeah, and
during
of course,
Justice League.
and
And
I'd have to be my own Wi-Fi hotspot.
oh yeah, all the time. Some total
I'd have to be
encrypted
my home.
satellite uplink.
Yeah,
Total
I have to
encrypted
be my own
satellite uplink.
Wi-Fi hotspot because I mean, what would be the point of not having a robot body and not have Wi-Fi? That's just
No,
defeating the whole purpose. You know,
oh no,
this defeats the whole
absolutely.
purpose of having a robot body.
Elon Elon is going to be like, what happened to my Starlink network? And I'm going to be like, it's mine.
Say,
I
you mean
took
my
it.
Starlink?
I took it. That's why
Say,
I took it.
oh, you mean my Starlink?
God. Yes, absolutely. But back to, Christine, I just don't, I didn't really let Majel Barrett develop into some great characters. I liked her as number one, despite the
Yeah,
misogynistic treatment that she got about, having a woman on the bridge, which is
but still, they
just misused her a
they
lot.
should have had better parts for her because she was misused. Or it's like
Nobody was abused.
underused. She was definitely
Nobody was
underused.
abused more than Rand, though. Nobody was abused
Uh
emotionally more than
Emotionally,
Rand.
physically, just
Lee.
everything would except Rand.
Oh yeah, and she's
And
supposed to be Kirk's personal yeoman, so you can imagine. So she's basically like his executive assistant.
yeah, and so you just imagine just all the stuff that she's heard come just fly out of his mouth just in general.
Oh yeah, and just well, and you can imagine he's probably. I wouldn't say he's like a. I wouldn't say he's like super strict and tedious, but you bet he's a very involved and diligent boss and got lots of stuff for you to do.
Hmm.
Like I
Absolutely, yeah.
you got to work out my whole schedule. I can't be bothered with it. I need my clothes laid out, folded, in my coffee, two sugars, one cream. Don't don't mess it up. I need all my reports dictated and written out for me in triplicate, double spaced.
That
Sit, sit.
I need to have my pants pressed with starch. Has to have starch. If it doesn't have starch,
And lay out my green tunic with the wraparound insignia. I want to wear that one today, a little stylish. And don't
yeah,
forget,
I've got
once
a
you've copied all my reports, I will need them scanned into a pad so that you can carry them 9 decks up and 4 sections over and leave it on my desk, please.
and tomorrow I have that ceremony, so you have to get my dress. You have to get my dress uniform out and get that pressed.
I noticed that the refrigerator in my quarters is decidedly low on seltzer water. I'm going to need my seltzer water and my M&M's greens only. He's like someone waiting to go on the on Jay Leno or something, Conan O'Brien.
I just
Need all these
it's
things
making
in my
all kind of
dressing room.
ridiculous things. It's like, oh,
Need all of these in my locker room or in
I
my
need all of
dressing room.
these. Maybe all of these here, all the green ones in this bowl here.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And I think, yeah, even with Christine gets a little minor role here and there, but God, she's just relegated to cameos at this point, I think, for the rest of the existence of the
Yeah,
show.
basically, yeah.
Rand, it's the same way.
But
She'll get a few more episodes though. Can't wait to when my dad were kind of laughing about the Apollo episode, with the god Apollo. And
yeah,
I don't know if she's in that one or not. There's another one where she's like, oh, we already watched that. That was Charlie. Oh, I'm
yeah.
like picturing her in this dress. I'm like, oh, we've already seen that one. I'm like, why is it so fresh in my mind? Good grief. That was only 2 months ago. Oh my God. Episode 8.
Oh
We're on
my
episode
God.
8. What little girls are made of. What's next week? Miri, right? Miri.
Miri.
Tomorrow. Tomorrow, actually.
Tomorrow
Tomorrow.
is Miri, and that is boy, a Kurt turning on his charms for the younger women.
We might have some age problems with this episode.
It was it was pushing it, because
I don't think
it
he
is pushing it.
fully acted on it, but we'll have to deliberate, break that down, watch it, and
Yeah, because
really see. And we'll talk to everybody about that one tomorrow and let you know. Because
it's like
yeah,
under a technicality is one thing, but mm, emotional wise, that's a different story.
it's a
So
bit
it's kind of
intense. It's a bit
it crosses,
intense.
yeah, it crosses that it stays firmly in that gray area.
Yeah.
But we'll
Again,
talk more about that.
that is the
Yeah,
nature of the show, and especially the era from which TOS comes from. But hey, there we go again. Episode 8, excuse me, is in the books, and we will be back to get episode 9 tomorrow, and we'll have that up on our website, on Spotify. You can watch these again on Twitch, right? The lives on
send us on.
TikTok if you just happen to be there. I have nothing else to add to that. Anything else from you, Commander Gilbert?
Oh, not much more than that, except everyone, this has been a fun episode. Hope you had a few laughs, just listening to our ADHD ramblings.
We're
And
all team Ruck. We're all team Ruck here. Creepy as he is,
so
we're all team Ruck
we're all Team Ruck. Make
or
sure,
Ruck.
you know, make sure when you walk outside, don't wear a red shirt. Keep your triples spayed and neutered. And Never get an Ivy monster in space,
Never battle an Ivy monster in space, especially as Naked Kirk.
especially as Naked Kirk.
Especially as Naked Kirk. We have officially entered the red shirt era. We will catch you next time on Rules of Nerdquisition, episode number 9. Miri, take
That is
care
what.
and
Take care and
live
live
long and
long and
prosper.
prosper.